In this programme, it's all about filth fighting in the great outdoors. Sam finds inspiration in a pig's trotter.
I think we could do going the whole hog, really, on this job.
Two waterways specialists display long-term commitment.
31 years we've been together, like an old married couple.
And a veteran filth fighter prepares for battle. But first, a tale of urban decay. England was once described as a green and pleasant land, where the trains ran on time and people left their doors unlocked. A land of communities where neighbours respected one another. It seems those days are gone, long gone. Today, in towns up and down the land, it's do as you please and dump as you please.
The rubbish dumping around this area has got completely out of control. People just don't seem to bother. If there's an area they can throw it in, they'll throw it in. When we were young, we were never brought up in an environment like this, with rubbish laying about the place. It's not the same now. Those they were the good old days, they were good old days.
But all hope may not be lost. There are still some people willing to dedicate their lives to turning back the flow of filth. In Preston, two council enforcement officers, Gary and Paul, are setting out to change hearts and minds and win this city back, alley by filthy alley.
We're trying to go back to what it used to be in the, I don't know, 50s and the 60s. And what I mean by that, people used to hang their washing up here. This is where people used to come out and have a chat. The kids used to play here, and it was great. It could be a fabulous asset for these people to use. But they can't use it as a tip. It's just turning into a bloody tip. Oh, lovely. The smell of dog is lovely. What is this? Eh? This is the other thing we end up with. Yeah, we pick up the remnants because he moves. You know what I mean? He's been off like a rocket. Possibly owing a few bob, I would suggest.
The strangest aspect of all this is that it always seems to be the residents who are dumping on their own doorstep.
I don't get this at all. I really can't for the life of me get this. It's stupid. It's just stupid.
It's enough to try anyone's patience, even an old pro like Gary.
The thing that winds me up the most is if you look at all the rubbish that's dumped here, it's just treating the council with total contempt, isn't it? They haven't even the courtesy to even put it in a bag, tie out the bag and pile it up. It's just chuck it. And then they start whinging and moaning about the council. It's a two-way street. You do your bit, we'll do your bit.
Once again, Gary and Paul swing into filth-fighting action.
Keeping us in a job. You could be sat at home watching television.
More often than not, filth fighting is about dealing with the consequences of social decline. It's a similar story in Preston, where Gary and Paul want to get to the heart of the problem. It's in their DNA. Before they were street enforcers, these two were law enforcers.
Years of training in the police, investigating crime, looking up criminals, and I've reduced to shoveling in a back alley.
A heavyweight mattress.
Yes.
I think somebody's got a bad back. It'll be me by the end of this.
They can try to track down the culprits, but it's not always that easy.
This is one of the usual problems we get round this area. We've obviously had some builder at work. One of the things that challenge anybody to find evidence out of a piece of building waste like that. It's just sand, cement, plaster dust. There's nothing in there of any evidential value.
They follow leads, which sometimes lead nowhere.
One or two of the residents told us that the guy that lives at this house is one of the chief culprits for putting loose waste out. So what I intend to do is just see if anybody in at the house, give them a quick knock, ask them to come out, and we'll see if we can get some form of explanation why they're putting loose waste out in the alley. Well, nobody in at the moment. They do like to ignore us for a while when they see us with the yellow jackets. The more forceful, the better.
It seems you can't take the cop out of the ex-cop.
I used to come and knock a couple of times, and the next thing we put a sledgehammer through the door. It was far good fun, that. Unfortunately, we don't have that power now, so we're a bit thwarted, but one day we may get the power to use our friendly sledgehammers as the skeleton key. It's great fun, you know.
If they're going to win this war, they'll need the residents on their side.
It's not collection day today, love. Do you want to take it back in?
One resident seems to think it's dustbin day.
That was almost a resident came out there and went,
Oh, thanks.
thanks very much. No.
No, 30 years in job, I didn't get many praise from people I locked up. So no, thank you very much for locking me up. And
We're going back to the old police days here. Let's lean against the wall and talk about the days in the police.
the good old days, the good old days.
But it's going to take more than wishful thinking and old-fashioned policing skills to win over hearts and minds in the alleyways of Preston. Another collection of rubbish in Ipswich is drawing a crowd.
We're here to clear out a load of fly tipping. Nobody knows whose it is.
A lot of people think modern art is a load of rubbish, but can rubbish be art?
We've got loads of extra black bags here, shoe racks, mattresses.
The abandoned artefacts make a statement about modern society.
Got a spin dryer here, we've got bags and bags of rubbish. Burnt out rubbish here, right outside somebody's gate, which was a wheelie bin. We've got lots of glass here that can be recycled. Tellies, tables, a mattress. It's wet and soggy, it's split open. This mattress is going to be twice as heavy as it would have been otherwise.
It all depends on how you look at things.
VW camper van there, if you want it.
It's all a matter of interpretation. Perhaps it's all worth a fortune. What if that's Tracy Emin's bed? Or this, an early Damien Hirst?
I think we could do a go in the whole hog, really, on this job.
It's not as if Sam is trained in the study of modern art.
I went to university in Plymouth, completed that, and ended up not quite knowing what to do. Worked for a council in Devon, came up here and got the job on Ipswich Council. And I've been lucky, really, with things as the way they are. I'm very grateful for the job and get on well with all the people, get on well with the supervisors. It's good. I enjoy it.
But Sam's not impressed by the not-so-carefully assembled collection.
People think it's all right to dump it in the back alleyway here and everyone else has to suffer. Someone's dumped some raw chicken down here. That's just asking for vermin. You've also got dog fowl in here and stuff.
The deeper they dig, it seems, the dirtier it gets. So how does this compare to other jobs the lads have done?
Some of the worst jobs are when you get a call to a fridge freezer that's been dumped and been left for a couple of months. And we had one a couple of weeks ago from an exotic pet shop that had shut down, full of mice and chicks and things all thawed out and lovely.
But Sam has become a hardened filth fighter. It's a sort of Zen thing.
Something's been there so long, it kind of goes through the smell barrier, and it's all right after that. It's stuff that's been there a little while that's just fresh. That's what you don't want.
A last stinky scrape, and it's game over.
It's about mission accomplished for today, really. It's nice and clear, there's access for the residents, and hopefully they can all make a fresh start.
And talking of fresh starts, in the other alley in Preston, the campaign to win hearts and minds is in full swing. Gary and Paul have pulled out all the stops.
Well, what we're trying to do is show people what you can do with your alleyways if you can keep it clean. These alleyways, as I said to you earlier, are kind of extensions of people's houses, and they can be used as extensions of people's houses. But if you chuck rubbish all over the place, who wants to use that bit of your house? So all we're trying to show people is, look after it, and this is what you can do with it. And as I say, I think this is fabulous, and this is what we want the backs to look like.
Are we going to start getting people into the alleyway, then we can start talking? I think we've actually got the Deputy Mayor here today just to introduce the proceedings to the local public.
Okay, just like to welcome everybody and thank everyone for coming, especially our Deputy Mayor, Councillor John Swindles, who's going to cut the tape and officially open the alley for us. Yeah, just cut it when you're ready, that's lovely. Okay, thank you.
The symbolic reopening of the New Look Alley is carried out in style. Now it's time to spread the word.
There's a lot of people in this area that needs re-educating, and that's what we're starting doing as from today. All right?
Well, we'll wait and see.
Can a gazebo, some temporary dressing and a visiting dignitary change some ingrained and very dirty habits?
The fact of the matter is, people there, these people will go away and they might speak to somebody else. and they might speak to another 5, and they might speak to, and slowly but surely the message gets out. All we can do is keep hammering the message, and eventually the public will get it.
Well, you want to come to the backs between Dolphin Street and Clover Street.
Well,
they're a disgrace. They have been for the last 2 years.
And that's what we're trying to put an end to.
Yeah, they're doing nothing.
We're doing our level best to sort it out for you, and that's why we started this campaign, to turn it round.
Well, I'd love to be able to just walk down an alleyway every day of the week, and there's not a bag anywhere, and people are taking responsibility for what they're doing, and it'd be absolutely fantastic. Now, whether we'll ever get to that, I don't know. I would hope we will, sooner or later, but whether it'll be in my lifetime, I'm not so sure.
They're trying, and that's the main thing. Yeah. But I think it does give people ideas. You look and you think, yeah, that's really good, and I think it is good. I like it.
Changes, yeah.
It's nice, that.
Yeah. At least for some locals, it's a pleasing sign of better times ahead.